today's video is all about RP and mental health. Now, when I first started Blind Focus with Sears, my intention was to put out content that allowed people to utilize my videos to improve their mental health. And what I want to spend some time on today is talking about how RP doesn't just affect your eyes, but it affects your mental well-being as well. I'm going to signpost you to some of the earlier videos that I did about mental health, and you'll get these links in the description as always. So I'm going to jump in with some tips to help you improve your mental health if you have retinitis pigmentosa. So tip number one is seek support. If you isolate yourself and allow yourself to just dwell on your own thoughts, then you are not going to be helping your mental health. You need to be okay talking about emotions and reaching out to other people to tell them how you really are feeling. Cannot understate this enough. Seek support and talk to people. Okay, number two, practice self-care. Now, this can look very different for each individual. So the most important thing is that you find some sort of joy, some sort of fun, maybe even relaxation. So whether that be healthy eating, not drinking too much alcohol, exercising enough, looking after your body that way, having a massage, doing some mindfulness, whatever it is that you want to practice to care for yourself, do more of this. Number three, educate yourself. There is no cure for RP. However, rather than dwelling on the fact there's no cure for it, it doesn't mean that you have to stop educating yourself about advancements in treatment and ways that you can look after yourself to make sure that you have the best shot of getting help when help is available. Now, number four comes from my personal training background, and it's all about setting realistic and smart goals. Now, if you are someone that struggles with your mental health and you can't see the wood for the trees, then what you need to do is start with very small steps. Whether it be you need to paint a room, whether you want to get started with drawing, whether you want to get to the gym, just start taking small steps towards your ultimate goal, and it will really help improve your mental health. Number five is establish and maintain a routine. Now, it's very easy to spin out of control when you feel you don't have an identity, when your identity is changed as your vision loss progresses. So what we need to make sure is that even if you don't have a reason to have a routine, then you need to make a routine for yourself. Whether that be getting up at the same time every day, having breakfast at the same time, lunch, tea, going to the gym, going and seeing friends, reading a book. Just make it into a routine. Getting up in the morning and going to bed at the same time every night. Get a routine in place that's going to really start helping your mental health, and stick to it. Don't be lazy. Don't pity yourself and get stuck in that vicious cycle. Positivity, get a routine and stick to it. Number six is practice mindfulness. Now, mindfulness doesn't have to mean deep breathing, meditations and visualizations, although if you like that, then the Blind Focus Toolkit has got some good stuff in it, so make sure you go and check that out. Mindfulness can mean different things to different people, so you might find that going for a walk on the beach, chatting to friends or family, walking the dog if you have a guide dog, anything like that, anything you can do where you can just escape for half an hour, 40 minutes, whatever, and just focus on something other than your RP and how awful things are, can be really beneficial for your mental health. So embrace mindfulness, find something that works for you, and do lots of it. Okay, number 7 is focusing on your strengths rather than your weaknesses. Now, I've done a video on this, and it's worth checking that out because RP has a lot of negatives, and it's very easy for that to impact your mental health when all you do is focus on what you don't have. When you start focusing on your strengths, the strengths of having RP and how it strengthens and makes you a more resilient person, you'll start looking for strengths and finding strengths and really focus and pay attention. Actually work on your strengths rather than dwelling on the weaknesses and the things you don't have. Okay, number 8 is expressing your feelings and emotions, and particularly for the guys watching this is something that a lot of us struggle with. But having RP, losing your sight and being on this sight loss journey, it's really, really difficult to express how you truly feel. But if you internalize it, bottle it up, that is going to come exploding out at some point, and that can really, really affect your mental health. So having someone or somewhere that you can go and express your emotions is always a good thing. Take it from me, letting them emotions out and getting rid of that and facing up to the fact that you are vulnerable, it's a really good thing to do. And there will always be people who will be there to listen. Number 9 is probably one of my favorites. It's engage with meaningful activities. Now, as you will have seen, hopefully I am a triathlete. I compete at para-triathlon, and for me, that is an activity that brings meaning to my life. It really improves my mental health, particularly when things go well and races go well and I feel fit and I feel strong and I feel enabled and part of a community of other people that are doing amazing things. Now, you might not want to be in triathlon, but find an activity that you're passionate about. If you don't have one, then go and find one. There's loads of opportunities for you to get involved in activities that until you try, you never know whether you're going to like it or not. So meaningful activities, I'm all for it. Number 10 is practicing gratitude. Now it's quite funny because I'm recording this in a podcast studio, and right now I'm grateful for the soundproofing so that you're not affected by the drum kit going off in the background. But jokes aside, gratitude and being grateful for things is really, really important for mental health. It's very easy to focus, like we said before, on the things that you don't have, but actually I'm sure no matter who you are, no matter where you are and where you're at with your sight loss journey, there will always be things to be grateful for, and making a list and pulling them out every day, every week, finding those things to focus on can be a really, really, really important thing for your mental health. It's definitely something that I try and do regularly, just to kind of take check on life and make sure that I'm grateful for what I've got, rather than being down on myself about the stuff that I haven't got. So be grateful, write a list, and gratitude can take you a long way. I hope you found that useful. I don't want it to come across like I'm trying to preach things to you to make your mental health better. But I also know that sometimes when you're in a place of depression and anxiety and feeling alone and separate from the world because you've got RP and sight loss, sometimes just hearing things like this can just lift you out of whatever funk you're in at the time. Obviously, if you are suffering with your mental health, then please reach out to counsellors, to helplines. It's better for you to talk to people than keep it to yourself. So I will add some links to a couple of organisations that I think can be really useful when your mental health is deteriorating beyond your control. But if you're still in control and you give some of these things a go, I'm hopeful that you'll see an improvement, and just reach out and don't be afraid to ask for help.